Hello, everyone. And yesterday I uploaded a video of anonymous doxing Trump, and after I uploaded it, a thought occurred to me. Wait, what about that whole lolsec thing, and then the anti-sec thing, and then the Sabu turning out to be a Fed informant? And so, by extension, he was using anti-sec to hack for the Feds. Yeah, after that, we kind of just got everything go silent and anonymous. I tried to look it up and see who is the leadership now, because Jeremy Hammond is in jail and he's still in jail. Well, it is anonymous. It's supposed to be anonymous. But who is the leadership? I don't see any leadership. We don't know. And we probably won't know for a good 1 year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5 years, maybe 10. It kind of depends on when leaks happen, right? But a thought occurred to me. What if Anonymous was still being run by the feds, like it was restarted by the feds to go after Trump because all the big corporations got their hand invested in politics, and so therefore a candidate they can't control because he's not funded by them whatsoever. He hasn't making any deals. He won't make any deals, probably, assumingly. So potentially they might have some lobbying power for the direction of the FBI. I mean, they have it in all their private news networks, blah, 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 right? But what if they could influence that direction, like the direction of the FBI and what they want to go after because they have the commander in chief by the balls? And then if we speculate that potentially the FBI could have resurrected Anonymous, well, it always existed, but they were the ones who really started this new push in 2016. Um, what if they were the ones who, started this whole rally against Trump because nobody likes Trump? A lot of the anonymous are liberal. So, to be fair, they could have done it on their own. But then at the same time, you do see how the whys line up. Why would the FBI want to resurrect Anonymous to go after Trump? Well, because the establishment has an interest in who becomes president, and Trump is one of the least likely of the candidates to help them, along with Bernie, which, why wouldn't they go after Bernie as well? Well, maybe they think they have control over him. I mean, just recently he did say stupid things, like really stupid things, like white people. I think it was in some sort of debate against Hillary, and they're all both fighting over whether they could be the most progressive. And so he said, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, and, try to appeal to everybody. And the really dumb thing he said was, white people don't know what it's like to be poor. You fucking idiot. But anyways, let's go back to the whole Trump thing and our speculations. Very conspiratorial speculations, blah, blah, blah. We might as well just throw it in the conspiracy dump pile because nothing's confirmed, no facts or whatever. I'm just connecting some dots as to why they might make sense because it's fucking crazy. But if if it was true, that would be fucking crazy. Let's face it, it'd be fucking crazy if the FBI, like all the way up to the FBI, was trying to slander Trump because they couldn't do it through the media. Now, if you didn't know about Anonymous, whatever, blah, 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 the whole FBI scandal and Sabu turning out to be informant, it started with lolsec. And lolsec was clearly anonymous. It was all by the collective anonymous group, hacktivism, liberals, whatever, right? And they were going mad shit crazy in 2008. They were just fucking everything. They were emails, everything. They were just going after whatever corporation they could. And they did some things like, like donating on the behalf of corporations, and you can't really blame them for that, even if it is illegal. And nobody really went after them for that because, for one, they couldn't, and two, they didn't really want to. It's a worthless court case and probably just bad PR in general. But Sabu was the head of all that. He was the controller of LOSEC. He was, it was a pirate ship, and they went after like corporate secrets, corporate espionage, everything. And they didn't do it for profit, but they did it, they took valuable information. They took valuable information and put it out there and stuff like that, right? So FBI comes up to Sabu's door, and he flips immediately. He's like, fuck this, he wasn't like the other hackers where it was like, fuck the system, blah, 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 fuck you. So he flips immediately, and then 24 hours later, he goes back online after the FBI has gone through all his hard drives and everything like that, and he's like, yeah, low sec's over, blah, blah, blah. And then he starts anti-sec. And they go after, like, shit like the fucking surveillance. Like this is, like, really, like, before it was just, like, corporations like PayPal and whatnot. And, yeah, that's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. But he's going after, like, fucking, like, it's like a private CIA, like, security firm. It's literally like the government contracts out what the CIA does in terms of intelligence and in some respect. Like, that's the best way to explain that corporation. They start going after that corporation, knowing full well that he's doing it on the behalf of the feds, and nobody knows this at the time, but he's doing that on the behalf of the feds and funneling all the information to them. So argument is that the feds wanted this information for God knows whatever fucking reason, right? And that was just one of the examples of the targets that anti-sec went after. Now, they do the court case and everything like that. Sabu goes to, well, whatever. He went off scot-free, basically. And then, they took down Jeremy Hammond and all those other fuckers, right? And so then Anonymous kind of runs scared and goes underground. And then it goes back to, its usual low-level stuff, like going after police files and Michael Brown's case and shit like that, going after KKK members and stuff like that. They're not that hard stuff of things to do in terms of coordination and whatnot. So this could be done by whatever cell. It could have been done by like 10 guys in Anonymous rather than the whole collective Anonymous. You know what I mean? And to be fair, they did have some bigger targets. For example, there was the Canadian privacy bill that, they got pissed at that, so they did a DOS attack. DOS attacks are not that uncommon, and they're not that hard to achieve successfully. But then we have two major ones, which are a little bit more, require more effort and coordination in terms of Anonymous, which was the OP Paris thing, where they went after ISIS or whatever. And we could argue that actually the feds wanted that to happen. So we could argue that the feds wanted that to happen because they did steal like information numbers, a whole bunch of other shit, shutting down crap. And then there was also the NASA hack, which NASA completely denies and says, no, you never had control over anything, and these are just public photos and whatnot, and whatever information you did grab isn't what you're making it out to be. So those are the really two big operations out of like 3 years of hacking. Like that's almost 3 years. So compare that to like LulzSec and AntiSec and those years, it's been relatively quiet for Anonymous. And then we come out with this new Donald Trump. We hate Donald Trump. And yes, it could just be, a bunch of angry liberals. No questions asked. But what if the feds still have their hand in Anonymous? For example, with the ISIS, that could have been coordinated by the feds because the commander-in-chief does have an interest in defeating ISIS because he says, he hates ISIS, blah, 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 right? So what if the feds do have an interest in doxing Trump, making him look bad? Because the alternative, the standard media is not working. It's not working at all, right? So they dox him. Okay, now this is where this stuff gets really conspiracy. Like that was pretty mild for what I'm kind of about to speculate on, which I find it fun to speculate on things, so I'm just going to speculate, right? But what if they release this information? Because this is pretty private information, right? They release this information, and then they take out, like they assassinate Trump. They kill him. They assassinate Trump, and then because they say, okay, you know what? We can't defeat him fairly. We got to get rid of him. And they do it like kind of, Lee Oswald style with Kennedy, right? So then they pin it on, just one person, crazy nut job with a gun, and then they kill him before he can even give his statements if he starts to blab. I mean, that's a conspiracy theory. It's a valid conspiracy theory. There's still a lot of missing pieces to the puzzle, but that's the official story, is the Lee Oswald killed Kennedy, and they just do this in 2016 with another crazy guy that wants to kill Trump or whatever. They already have the crazy liberals they can pin it on. They already have those people that are coming up on stage and trying to punch him out and whatnot, or whatever the hell is going on in these people's minds. I don't really understand sometimes. They already have those people that are just really hate Trump. They really hate Trump. They're going to the rallies. They're saying, fuck you, he can't say anything, he's not a real candidate, all you supporters suck, blah, blah, blah. And the supporters there are like, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And they're all mad at the people coming out to the rallies against Trump. So you already have the motive there. You already have the liberal motive there. And then because you release this information, you argue, oh, well, because Anonymous released this information, the shooter had all the information he needed to commit his dirty act. So it's pretty simple because they've invested millions and millions of dollars into defeating him the right way. And it's not working. It's not working at all. What if they try to defeat him the wrong way? However, I would argue that it wouldn't be very soon. It might be several months down the road. We're probably going to have to look at potentially the leadership already in place. We're going to have to think of that because you want to kill Trump right at the right time, right as everybody's like, oh, it's Trump or Hillary, it's Trump or Hillary, Hillary has her nomination, Trump has the Republican nomination. They're going at it, and then all of a sudden, within 2 months of the actual voting, Trump bites the bullet and he's dead. And suddenly everybody has to, suddenly all the Trump supporters are like, well, who do we vote for now? And then, Hillary's in. Even if that is all speculatory and whatnot, right, and based on no facts, is that at least a valid theory scenario that could happen? Is that valid? I don't know. I'm just speculating, man. But honestly, what would Anonymous itself actually have to go in after Trump? I don't understand. Take all his money because they hate him? I thought they were smarter, Maybe they're not as smart as we think, but hell, the motives, just because this is really recent, the motives could be anything. We don't have all the facts, and we're just not sure. Let's face it, we're just not sure. One thing's for certain, if they really want to take down Trump, they probably won't do it this way. They'll probably reveal that he's like a furry or something like that. If that information is out there, they're gonna look for that dirty secret and then release it. That would make the most sense if you really want to hit Trump where it hurts or something like that. And even then, I don't even know if it would work. But doxing him is not going to work because he's just going to say, oh, look at me, these people hate me. These people hate me. They're coming after me. And, basically, playing the victim card, just not trying to look like a pathetic pussy that can't take criticism on the internet, But if this dox is just to, a part of the plan that's in progress for an assassination on Trump, dare I say it, hey, that could make sense. Maybe that could make sense because I don't understand what's going through Anonymous's head if this is just a dox. There's got to be something more. There's got to be something more to this. All right, I could speculate forever, but I'll close this video down. I hope you enjoyed it. And good day, everyone.